Hi everyone, welcome back to the middle bit. When I first started off this series, I don't know if you can see me fully, hopefully you can now. When I first started off this series, I said that I wanted to share with you guys the ups, the downs, the beautiful moments, the hard moments, when things feel like everything fits together and you know what you're doing, and also when things feel like they're falling apart and you have no freaking clue what you're doing, if you even want to do it anymore. I basically said I wanted to share the whole journey, not just, the end bit. And when things finally work out. And that's very easy to do and very easy to say when you're writing that beautiful way, then things are going well and things are good and fun and exciting. But it's a lot harder to do when things feel like they're not going your way, when you feel like a disconnect within yourself, when you don't feel connected to yourself anymore, and you don't feel like things are flowing like they used to. And basically that's what's been happening to me recently. I've just not been feeling the best. And that's normal. That's what life does. You go up and you go down. But I don't even know if I'm going to post this video fully, because it's just uncomfortable to post things that show your real, true vulnerable side, and you not knowing exactly what you're doing. That's difficult and it's hard and it's not easy. But basically, the last couple of days, I've been feeling kind of this, really, the only way I can explain it is like this tension between myselves. When I say myselves, I intentionally mean with an S. Like this sort of tension between like my inner child that's young and free and beautiful and loves to do so many different things and has like a mind of her own and is almost a little bit hard to tame, doesn't want to be tamed. And then me, this more adult version of me that's a lot more rigid and a lot more like with systems, and you have to do this first and do that then, and then, very like angular, very like rules and straight, and clashing with the more like wavy, crazy, curvy, ness of my childlike self. And for some reason, I don't know if it's a meditation that I've done, I don't know if it's just, the more you grow, the more you go deep within yourself, the more you uncover new layers and new things to work through. But for some reason, the last couple of days, I really felt this huge tension between both parts of myself. And obviously, I'd say obviously, but that's just how it happens for me all the time. You go through that and then you don't know what's happening. All you feel is like, at least for me, this like heaviness and just almost angriness in your heart that you can't quite let out. You just feel like, you almost feel like you can feel your heart. Not the pumping of it, not the fact that the blood is rushing through your body, just like you feel the space where your heart is, you just feel it, and it feels like, I don't know, somebody put like a 2-kilo weight on it. It doesn't weigh you down fully that you can't walk, but it doesn't allow you to fully run. You know what I mean? At least, I don't know if you guys know what I mean, actually. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. At least that's the experience that I have. And when I feel that, it's just really difficult, because I don't know why, maybe I'm just really in tune with my body, I don't know, but when my body doesn't feel exactly like normal to me, it's almost difficult to exist and do things and feel things normally and go through life in the way that I like to go through life. And yeah, basically I had this huge tension that I didn't know what was happening. Cried about it. I was like, is it this, is it that, is it because I don't feel like this, is it because I don't feel like that? And then at some point you kind of maybe have your mother, somebody that you know quite well, somebody in your life that asks you a specific question, is it because of this? And then you just have tears flowing down your face and you're just like, oh, is it that? It almost feels like, sometimes you finally have like a reasoning that comes to the surface. And I think my mom basically just asked me like, you are doing a lot and you're doing so much, and sometimes maybe your inner child's just angry, like you're not letting her have space, you're not letting her do what she wants to do, something like that. Basically that's how I interpreted it. And I was just crying and crying, and that's when I realized that there was like, it was what I was feeling was this tension between both of my sides. And I just kind of realized that sometimes, what you feel comfortable doing and your comfort zone, for you to get to the next stage, whatever that is, you have to get out of your comfort zone, whatever that comfort zone looks like and feels like for you. And for some people, getting out of your comfort zone is actually going out more and showing yourself more and being, you know, more outgoing and, you know, putting things out there. And I kind of realized that actually for me, getting out of my comfort zone is actually doing less. And that feels so uncomfortable to me. When you tie for a very long time your worth, you know, if I'm being really honest with myself, your worth, your ability to accept love from other people, your ability to you know, feel validated to do certain things, to, and I'm getting so warm right now, but to what you do and how much you do, and almost as if like I can only be more loved or more validated. And it doesn't have to be, at least for me, it's not necessarily validation from other people, it's also validation from my own self, my own critic. It's almost as if like, for me to feel okay with me, I have to do so much. I have to go to med school all week and really perform there and get really high grades there, but then I have to work all weekend and do YouTube and do a video every single week and do this and do that and do that and all of these things. And then I kind of realized that actually, as much as the singing is what I love to do, the creativity is innate within me in a lot of different things. If it's art, if it's singing, but mostly singing, if it's music, all of that. The like adult version of me, or maybe the more wounded version of me, I don't really know, is like putting barriers and lines and rules, and every week you have to do this, and every month you have to do this, and you have to post 5 reels a week, and whatever. And then you get to a point where you realize that actually all of this is stifling, shutting down, and not listening to the more childlike version of myself. And at some point it's bound to explode. At some point it's bound to be like, hey, you're finally, maybe this is how it feels actually for me. It's like my childlike version of me is almost saying like, oh, you're finally, you know, listening to me a little bit more. You're finally doing more of the creativity that I've always wanted to do. You're finally listening to that part of yourself, and you're finally doing these things, and I'm so excited about it. But you're forcing me to be creative in a specific way. You're forcing me to wait till the summer to write your first song, and you're forcing me to, you know, post a video every single week because that's creativity and that's going to get people to listen to your voice and to do this and to do that. It's like you're finally understood that creativity is something that's important and something that you need in your life and something that you want to give a lot more attention to. But you've also now made creativity a burden and a job and something that you have to do, and that something that has to happen within certain boundaries and certain rules. And obviously rules are important, things need to get done, all of that. But if you're somebody a little bit more like me that always gets things done, you will always follow the rules, you're never going to deviate. It's almost as if sometimes you have to learn to be a little bit more carefree, be a little bit more, you know what, I'm just going to do what it is that I want to do. And it's so freaking difficult. I'm not saying that I have the answers at all. I'm just sharing the journey, sharing this particular part of the journey, which is, it is so difficult to do. For me personally, you know, until I was feeling so uncomfortable between those two parts of myself, I would have never noticed it. I would have never really given it attention, because doing more and showing up a lot and consistently is what you're told to do. It's what you're told to do to get to success. But some part of me feels like maybe this next season of my life is teaching me and showing to me that you can reach success by doing less. Sorry, I was just checking that it was still filming. Yeah, you can reach success by doing less, and almost as if you're doing less and you're allowing yourself to do less and to take a step back, you can allow yourself to do more of what matters to you and more of what truly brings you joy, truly sets your heart on fire. And then it's almost like that hopefully leads you down the path of what it is that you're meant to be doing. And so I think that's kind of the what I've been thinking about recently. Obviously I'm not in my usual environment. I'm in the countryside, it's beautiful, it's sunny and all of that. And I, decided to go on this holiday. I was like, you know what, I'm not going to bring a camera. I'm not going to bring, all the things that are like, you should be doing this on a Saturday. On Saturdays you film and you edit and you do this so that on Sunday it's ready and it's posted. I was like, you know what, we're not doing this. We're letting ourselves exist and enjoy and just flow. And it's been feeling really good, but for some reason I still come back to, I want to film. I do. But I kind of just want to do it a bit more on my terms. So I had to film back to the old school ways with my phone camera on like a few set of books. There's no tripod, there's nothing, there's no mic. It's really back to the basics, kind of how I used to do it when I first started my channel. And then going back, I know it's a bit rambly and I don't even know who's still listening because it's just the most rambly video. But it's okay. I'm kind of like thinking back to, the sort of tension between your childlike self, inner self, and then your kind of more wounded adult-like self, with the armor and everything around it. And I kind of realized that both want to do the singing and the music and the creativity and the YouTube and all of that. That's always going to be something that I want to do. That's always going to be something that I'm going to be drawn back to wanting to do. But it's almost like my childlike self wants to do it when she wants to do it, wants to do it her way, wants to do it in a way that's like, I just want to film on a random Tuesday because I feel like it. But then my adult self is like, no, but we film on Saturdays and we only film on Saturdays and we only post on Sundays and we only do this at this time and we post once a week every single Sunday at 10 p.m. And it's like, yeah, it just feels like my adult self is like the creativity police. Like, no, you can be creative, but only on my terms. And obviously that doesn't work. That's not how creativity works. So basically, I think I'm just saying all of this, and this little plane is coming to say hello. I think I'm just saying that I'm probably going to intentionally force myself to, bestie babes, please. Yeah, but probably gonna not force myself, but really hopefully really do things when I want to do them. And that might mean that videos will be less consistent, that it won't be every single Sunday. That might mean that I won't be posting on Reels every single day of the week. But I feel like if that's what I need in this season of my journey, to take a step back and to do things on my childhood terms, not adult terms, not protocols and systems, and if I need to take a step back and let myself be more free and do things how I want to do them, then that's probably what I need to learn. And that kind of makes sense because I've never really allowed myself at any point of my journey to really do things creativity wise in the way that creativity wise feels. I've never allowed myself in my creative side, with my creative side, to show up in the way that makes the most sense and feels the best to my creative side. I've always tried to be like, to fit my creativity in the confines of my rational brain and my rational self, and the part of myself that's rule bound. I've always done that. I see a rule online: to succeed on YouTube, you have to post once a week and be consistent. And the more you post on YouTube once a week, the more likely it is that you'll have a breakthrough and you'll be, your videos will actually be seen by people and you'll be able to make a career out of it. To do this, you have to do Y. To do that, you have to do Y. And I kind of just absorb rules. I'm just like, okay, if that's the rule, I'll just follow it. Because I'm really good at following rules. Rules really make me feel safe. They make me feel like good. My adult self. My childlike self doesn't really want to follow the rules all the time, and kind of wants to do things on her own way and dance to her own rhythm and do things that make her feel good. But it's almost like it's so difficult to do, and it's so challenging to step out of what you know and what feels rational, to listen to that little child that's like 5 years old, 7 years old, 9 years old, that just wants to like run around and put paint on the walls. You know what I mean? But sometimes I guess that's what you have to do. And I kind of tell myself that if I need to go back to the very rule-bound system thing for it to work, then I can go back. There's no reason why I can't just be like, you know what, now actually I've tried for a couple of weeks to do this, the creativity wise, how I wanted it to do, and follow my own rhythm, dance to my own beat, but it's not working. I don't feel good. I feel completely like carefree, and I feel like there's no direction, so I need more direction, and I can add more direction. But I think, yeah, I think it is time, basically, for me to do things in a more childlike way. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't have no freaking clue how I'm gonna do that. So stay tuned. But currently, the way I think I'm gonna do that is I'm just gonna be like, hey, little child within you, do you want to do this? Yes? No? No? Okay, we're not. What do you want to do? You want to read? Okay, we're reading. That's literally what I've been doing for the last 48 hours. I've been like, hey, do you want to bring a camera? No? Okay, we're not then. I'm backing off. Hey, do you want to film? No. Okay, I'm backing off then. Hey, do you want to record a video for the middle bit today? Do you feel like you want to do that? Yeah, I do actually. I have things to say. Okay, then we're going to film. We're going to make it happen. Hey, do you want to journal today? Yes, I do. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, I've just been very almost as if, when you upset someone and you've gotten somebody really, 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 really angry, and you know that it's your fault, and you're just like, you've apologized, but they're like, I don't believe you. I don't trust you anymore. And then you have to slowly but surely rebuild this trust. That's kind of how I feel right now, but with the child inside of me. You know what I mean? I feel very hey, I've been really, really, really mean and aggressive, and I forced you to do so many different things that you didn't really want to do. Do you want to film a video? Okay, I'll do what you want. But yeah, I feel like I'm rambling now, but I feel like, I guess it's important to share all of it, and it's even important for me to actually see things and to just see things how they are, and not fall for the trap that the more I do, the more success I have, the more people follow me, the more I'll be loved, because that's not true. And how do I know that's not true? Because even with my own self, when I look for my own personal validation in unhealthy ways, I don't love myself more when I achieve more. When I got into medical school in the UK, after trying and struggling and doubting myself so many times, I didn't love myself more. When I reached 1,000 subscribers on my previous YouTube channel, I didn't love myself more. When I was monetized, I didn't love myself more. When I started doing the singing and, singing in bars and all of that, I didn't love myself more. So I kind of gotten to the point as well in the last 48 hours journaling that I've never loved myself more for the things that I do. So why would somebody, other people, my family, love me more for the things that I do? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense in the heart, but it makes sense in the brain. So I'm kind of trying to, work through that. We're still working on things, guys. So yeah, basically, I'm confused. I'm in a bit of a lull in my journey right now, but we're moving, and as always, I'm bringing you guys along as long as my inner childlike self wants to. And for now, she wants to, so take what you can. So yeah, I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your week, beautiful rest of your day, and I actually can't say that I'll see you next week because I don't know. It's not up to me. So I will see you when I see you, and I hope that in the meantime you feel really good. So yeah, bye.